Good morning, children. Yesterday, I had sent a video on the topic the sermon at Benares. Be careful about the spelling of Benares in this textbook. Now the time has come to discuss the gist of the lesson. First of all, sermon is a religious talk delivered by a prophet or saint. Here we have the journey of Gautam Buddha from princehood to his saintly life. Saintly is a word saint and saintly, saint or and saintly. It is clear to you. He left the palace at the age of 25 after seeing the sufferings of the world to seek enlightenment. He wandered for 7 years here and there, and under a peepal tree at Bodh Gaya, he got it. What did he get? He got enlightenment. His first sermon was delivered at Benares, as it was considered to be the holiest place because of the river Ganga. He thinks that he who seeks peace should draw out the arrow of lamentation, complaint, and grief. He who has drawn out the arrow has become composed and will obtain peace of mind. He who has overcome all such circumstances will be free from sorrow and be blessed. Kisa Gautami, dear children, remember this name. This is important character in your lesson. Kisa Gautami was grieving over the death of her son. She moved from door to door and at last came to Buddha. She made him a humble request to make her son alive. Buddha said he would do, but he asked a handful of mustard seeds. Mustard, sarson ka beej. He further commanded it must be taken from a house where no one had lost a child, husband, parents, or friend. She went from house to house, but was unable to find one where nobody had died. She was tired and hopeless and sat down at the wayside, watching the light of the city as they flickered up. And she realized that these lights flicker up for some time and are extinguished again. This way, she was taught that the lives of mortals in this world are troubled and brief, and there is no means by which one can avoid death. As all earthen vessels made by the potter are being broken, so is the life of mortals. Death is inevitable. It is ultimate truth. Dear children, now the time has come to discuss the detailed summary of the lesson. Gautam Buddha was born in 563 BC. BC means before Christ. He was born in a royal family. He was a prince. His name was Siddharth Gautam. At the age of 12, he was sent away for schooling. He studied all the sacred Hindu scriptures. He returned after 4 years. At the age of 16, he married a princess. They had a son. For 10 years, the couple passed a happy life. Siddharth had been shielded from the suffering of the world. However, when he was 25, Siddharth saw a sick man, then an aged man, then a funeral procession. Finally, he came across a monk begging for alms. This was his first encounter with the harsh realities of life. These sights made him so sad that he decided to renounce the worldly pleasures. He left his family and became a beggar. He went out into the world to seek spiritual knowledge. Siddharth Gautam wandered for 7 years in search of wisdom and truth. Finally, he sat down under a fig tree to meditate. ध्यान अवस्था के लिए meditation. He vowed to stay there until he got enlightenment. After 7 days, Gautam got enlightenment. He named the tree as the Bodhi tree, that is, the tree of wisdom. He became known as the Buddha, which means enlightened or the awakened. He began to teach and to spread his message of wisdom and truth. He became known as the Buddha, the enlightened. Buddha gave his first sermon at Benares. It is the holiest of places on the bank of the Ganges. His first sermon reflects his wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering, i.e., death. Here, the Buddha tells about the universality of death, which is inevitable and cannot be escaped. A lady named Kisa Gautami had an only son. One day, her son died. She wanted her child should become alive again. She wanted some medicine to bring her son to life. People called her mad. At last, she came across a man. He advised her to meet the Buddha. She approached Buddha with a request to give her medicine so that her only son could he live again. After deep thought, the Buddha asked her to bring a handful of mustard seed. But there was a condition. She must bring it means mustard seed, from a house where no one had died. Kisa Gotmi went from door to door to get the mustard seed. She found mustard seeds in every home, but she could not find a home where nobody had died. By evening, she was sad and tired. She saw the lights of the city. Soon there was the darkness of the night. Now she considered the fate of man. Now she realized that death is inevitable. No one can escape it. She came back to the Buddha and asked for his blessings. The Buddha, in his sermon, told her that our life is brief and painful. Everyone who takes birth has to die. The vessel made by the potter is not permanent. It has to break one day. In the same way, everyone has to die. Death spares none. मौत किसी को छोड़ती नहीं है. Death spares none. A father cannot save his son. Everyone grieves when someone dear dies, but grieving cannot bring the dead back to life. So death and sufferings are unavoidable. The wise persons do not grieve as they know the truth. Weeping does not bring peace to the mind. On the other hand, a person's pain becomes greater by grieving. His body also suffers. One who has learned to control his grief shall have peace of mind. That person is blessed who has overcome his sorrow. Dear children, now there are some extracts which are asked from your text in your examination. So there is an extract based comprehension question exercises. First is the Buddha preached his first sermon at the city of Benares, most holy of the dipping places on the river Ganges. That sermon has been preserved and is given here. It reflects the Buddha's wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. Dear children, there are 4 questions and now you have to answer. Name the holiest of the dipping places on the river Ganges where the Buddha preached his first sermon. I think it is very easy to you. You can easily answer. That is Benares. Second question. What does Buddha's first sermon reflect? You can easily say Buddha's first wisdom about one inscrutable kind of suffering. Third, what did Gautam do after getting on light? Element. Answer. After getting enlightenment, he began to teach and share his new understandings on people. And fourth question, how was he known as then? Answer is, as he started preaching, he was known as Buddha, meaning the awakened or the enlightened one. So, Dear children, uh, I shall discuss the remaining extracts in my next period, next session. So you listen this video, read this gist again and again, and if you have any kind of difficulty, you may underline. As you are coming to the Vidyalaya, you may ask to me. Thank you.